So for this video, I let my community Discord choose which set I should make a video about. Alright, that's a complete lie. I didn't ask them because I know what they were gonna say. This one's for you, Ted Turtle. Here's your video. This set is not that bad. There are some damn good plays with the standby cards, but we're going to talk about a different combo today. This series on the channel generally only talks about events, but I kind of want to change that. So we're going to talk about a combo that doesn't use an event at all. Don't worry, the next one is going to be completely about events. Today we're going to talk about a trial deck combo. For this Weiss Schwarz showcase, we need to start off with the trial deck, specifically this 1-0 card. Jobless Reincarnate Rudeus only effect is a climax combo, experience. On attack, if you have from teacher to student in play and your total experience is 2 or more, top check 3, add a character, then you ditch the rest. And this card gains 1k5 power. The climax is a 1k1 and a choice when triggered. Hey, that's actually pretty good. You do need to plan ahead for the experience, but that is easily doable. The on attack is simple enough. You plus with no interaction with your opponent, and as someone who has played Yu-Gi-Oh before, I hate letting my opponent do anything. So the reason this is good is because you're going to be plussing regardless of the situation. You declare your attack, you plus, your opponent sits there and watches you add a card to your hand and cycle through your deck. It's not dependent on a reverse, and there's no interaction with your opponent. It is pretty much free. So you plus, you gain 1k5, so with the climax, you'll actually be at 7k5, which is actually pretty big for a level 1. Also, you're going to be running the choice, so you could snag big things or load up on stock when you trigger it. Now, this would have been better if it was 4 cards instead of 3, so you could cycle through your deck a lot quicker, but honestly, this is fine. For a trial deck combo, this is phenomenal. You plus, you get mills, minimal interaction with your opponent, and the power is pretty damn good. Alright, who cares? Okay, so this is the trial deck, but what if you want to add to this combo to make it actually even better than what it is? Because this is pretty damn good. You can't be shackled down only to the trial deck, which there are still some good cards in there, but now we must turn to the booster pack cards. And there is actually a lot of support for this, making this, in my opinion, a good budget option as well as a good first time player deck. And that is why I want to talk about it. Before we go on talking about some specific cards, we're gonna have to talk about this one first. Gift of Magic Rudeus states that if you have 6 or less cards in hand, this card gains 2k power and it's a free runner. Where's the downside? This is essentially a 3k5 free runner. If this was a mill runner, it would have been even better because you can never have too many things that mill in your deck. 6 or less cards in hand is not really that much of a downside. You're gonna be fine. Definitely a recommended card in your jobless deck, but more importantly because of this card. Daily Growth Rudeus is an anti-early drop stock bomb, and at the start of your attack phase, if you do not have a climax in play, you could ditch the Gift of Magic Rudeus from your hand, search your deck from teacher to student, and place it in your climax area. That is right, you could rip the climax straight from your deck, kinda like magic. Here's the interesting part and a pro tip. This card does not need to be in the front row to activate its effect, nor does this need to attack. So if you're short on the climax, you could play this card in your back row, fill your front row with your 1-0 Rudeus, go to your climax phase, don't do anything. Attack phase starts, Daily Growth's Rudeus' effect activates, you ditch the free runner, and you get the climax from your deck to the field. Also, the other effect, the anti-early drop stock bomb, that is a nice added touch, especially with the usual suspects running around. And here's possibly the best part, this card has a trigger icon, so that means if you trigger a choice sometime during your early game, you can salvage this card. And because this is an anti-early drop, it's pretty live during the rest of your game. And there we have a nice little combo that works super well in itself. There is a high chance that you're not going to be missing your climaxes because if you are set up, you could just rip them straight out of your deck. And in short, if you run the usual profiles of your searching and your salvaging characters, you will be fine. And with that, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for... Talk about Roxy. No, I don't want to. I don't want to talk about Roxy. No, I don't.
Come on, yeah, talk
All right,
about
fine,
Roxy.
I will. Okay, you just
Come
stop,
on.
please. Just
Yeah,
stop.
there you
Wake
go.
up the neighbors. It's actually kind of late.
Hey, you want to hear some Roxy facts?
No, I'm good. I don't want to. No, I don't want to hear any Roxy
Konomi
facts.
Kohara, she actually... I'll just be right here. All right. Yeah, just don't mind me.
Ah, man, they're so annoying. Learning how to cook Roxy is a global 500, and you are leaving my room right now. There you get out of my room right now. Sorry about that. Anyways, learning to cook Roxy is a global 500, and actually, you know what? Give me 1 sec. Learning to cook Roxy is a global 500. She gives all of your 1-0 climax combo Rudeus 1k power, and if you're level 3 or higher, you can send this to your waiting room and play Meager Tribe Magician Roxy from your hand to where this card was. Holy crap, this didn't need to do the second effect, but here we are. The global 500 and the 1k do pile up on your Rudeus, so they will get 1k 5. So right now, they're going to be at 9k power on attack with just one of these on the field. That is bonkers. I was good with the 7k 5, but this is guaranteeing reverses. And again, that is just with one of them on the field. Don't even make me do the math with two of them. It's more than 5k power, I can tell you that. So here's the card that it's called from the second effect of that Roxy, just for the sake of consistency. Meager Tribe's Magician Roxy is on play from hand, draw 2, ditch 1. All of your characters in front of this card gain 2k power, and when your trigger check reveals a climax, you could give a character 1k power and pay 1 twin drive. Oh man, I really do wish this was on an early drop, or just a way to bring this out earlier. This would have been great at level 2 because this looks more like a setup card. It is still pretty good, but this might be a little too late for your level 3 game. It is nice that you can pay off the climax that you just triggered for a twin drive, but again, it might be a little too late for that, but this is still pretty damn solid. Especially if you could force yourself into a deck refresh quick enough in your level 3 with max climaxes. Because that is why you have effects like these. That's to keep your stock clean of your climaxes and to have them in your waiting room for when you deck refresh. So this is free to play with these Roxys on the field, so you're running that, you might as well run this. In the Sunny Spot, Roxy gains 500 power for each of your other character and climax combo. When one of your characters trigger checks from teacher to student or blessing, you could pay 1, draw 1. This card is in this video specifically because it specifically names the 1-0 Rudy climax combo. This is super solid for a secondary level 1 card in your deck. Has some good utility with the second effect, and if you need to, you could actually play this on the front row and just smack your opponent. Again, like I mentioned with the other Roxy, you want to keep your stock clean, and this is a good way to do it. Also, since this is adding the ability to hard draw, this adds some incentive to run this event, which actually isn't that bad. And this card is effectively telling you what your combos are going to look like because it tells you the names of the climaxes outright. You're running the Jobless Reincarnation Rudy, and you're running Warm Look Roxy is on play heal, and during your turn, this gains 2k power and climax combo. After this card attacks, if you have Blessing in play and another character, choose one of the following effects. Burn 1. Or ditch 2, burn 3. The climax is a 1k 1 and an arch when triggered. That is super nice. Very weak though. You're only going to be at 12k power on climax. Hopefully you drop the 3-2 Roxy for some extra buffs. But there are two amazing things about this card. The first is that it's not dependent on a reverse. So this video is more like a lesson on player interactivity. It doesn't matter if you're bigger or smaller, if your damage is canceled or not. Just at the end of this card's attack, you burn 1 or ditch 2, burn 3. The second thing is that the burn is after this card attacks. So you could swing for 3 plus whatever you trigger, and you gauge the burn damage from there. If you ditch 2, it'll be like a second attack. Or you could peck your opponent for exact with 1. Also, if you don't have resources in your hand for the burn 3, you get a free burn with just attacking. You really need to think about how many climaxes are in your opponent's waiting room, your attack order, how compressed they are, and etc, etc. This can win games, and again, this is absolutely free with no interaction. This is a great card. So there we have it. From what you can see, there is already a fully playable core, and it's honestly all thanks to this card right here. It tells you, here's your mid game, here's your finisher, build around it. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, I think this is a great first introduction to the game and deck building. You have all the climaxes literally spelled out for you. You have cards that interact specifically with those climaxes and those cards. And with some deductive reasoning, you can load up your deck with some port cards like this climax swapper, maybe like a drop searcher, or this card here. Well, not so much this one. I just like the art. Not this one. No, not this one either. And that is where we're going to end today's video. I really do like this combo, and I might even build this in English when it comes out. Probably should have mentioned that earlier. This is coming to English. And with all that, thank you all for watching. Are you building your deck with this core in mind, or are you running a standby deck like everybody else? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. Shout out to all my YouTube members: Stocksop Games, Ted Turtle, Soy Saucer, Leafa, Buckland, Andy Carly, Audrey, Gilgastorm, Dark Gamer, Silver Throne, Jokester, Ultimate Gamer, and Diaz Muse Senpai. Thank you all, and if you like the content that I make, do consider becoming a YouTube member. You get a shout out at the end of the video, and you get some super cool perks as well. Follow me on Twitter @CasuallyWX for updates on the channel, and I will see you all in the next one.